Peace to y'all families. Salute for all the newcomers checking in. I just want to say I appreciate y'all for tuning into this video, man. Y'all can easily watch something else, but y'all watching me. That means a lot to me, y'all, because to have an audience look at your video and to choose on that is because they see something in you, y'all, that they don't see in everybody else. So I just want to remind y'all, man, for those, those new channels that are upcoming, y'all, it's for all of us to keep going, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, what helps you see progression the most, y'all. You want progression? Like I said, you need consistency. You need that hard work. You don't have to make a video every day, y'all, but if you can, do that, because you will eventually go viral. But it's not about going viral, y'all. It's about, seeing you start getting somewhere after, like I say, waiting for so long. So don't chase to be viral. Don't chase to be, like I say, your favorite YouTuber, y'all, because what they do might not work for you. I just want to remind you that when you get on the camera, y'all, the best thing to do to attract more, to, like I say, feel like you are doing something great, y'all, is to be yourself on the camera. Don't make it to where you feel like you're not motivated, and don't feel like you can't speak properly, y'all, to the camera, because everybody's watching you from all over the world. There's people tuning in from all over, because, like I say, they sense realness about you, y'all. But in this video, I necessarily just wanted to get on, why it's important and how to save your money in this, economy, or this world that we call, like I say, life. Many people always tell me that, like, what's the best way for me to save my money if I have, so much amenities, y'all, or if I just, not even that, y'all, but I have to, if you want to say properly, put my money to use, which could be, not just bills, but maybe subscriptions, maybe you, like I said, you go out, so, you have to pay for things in this world, right? But what I'm gonna tell y'all is, you shouldn't be going anywhere, y'all, if you're not truly happy or satisfied with where you are at in life, y'all. Study this and study yourself first. Remember that in this life, y'all, I'm looking for any way out of the matrix. So if I can, see that and decipher that, well, I want to take action on it, y'all, because the end goal for everybody should be, you should get to a point, y'all, where you don't need to save that money, because you have so much money coming in that the money works for you, family, right? So I advise y'all on this topic, man. It's crucial, especially while you're younger, to just, I'm not gonna tell you to invest it like everybody else, or just blow it all away on trading and shit. But what I want to remind y'all is that choose what you want to do with your money, y'all, because at the end of the day, it is your money. I'm only a financial, like I say, if you want to call it, apprentice at this, because even though I have my money saved, and I have saved up funds as we speak now, y'all, I have learned over time through constantly spending my money, y'all. I was never so good at saving it in the earlier stages of, getting to the bag. Or let's just say, when we all started working, y'all, we all started saving our money, or we all started buying things, because that's the reason we wanted a job, was to, provide for our own, right? So I give y'all this, family. If you truly want to save your money, you must look at everything around you like it doesn't matter, because nothing else matters but me trying to get to the next milestone, So what I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all really trying to save your money, is to put it aside. Don't use it on things that's not going to benefit you, y'all. And I know you have to pay bills. I know you have to put that money to something, because it's damn near impossible to save your whole check, y'all. If you have to, like I say, y'all, pay amenities and all kinds of shits. So I'm only gonna tell y'all from experience what I would do, y'all. If I was in your state of condition, y'all, what I would do is slowly work myself out that, just save up half of your check, y'all, and the other half that you might need, y'all, put that on your phone bill, put that on bills, or just put that on shit that you have to get, paid. And, use that other half to add on to, because that's what your goal should be, family. You don't want to spend all your money, because you're gonna need that money one day, y'all. If something was to happen to you, let's just say something went down, or that job fired you, you're not gonna feel truly good, y'all. If you don't have no money to get something, maybe you might need food, maybe you might want to go somewhere and need a survivalness, y'all. It's gonna take you some kind of currency to get there, y'all. You can't always rely on your physical currency. That's why God has given you He has given you the currency to become where you're unlimited, And I know, family, it's bright. It's really bright outside. So I just want to remind you that, that's why I keep my hand right here, family, because I don't want this video to fuck up in a way, family. But another step on choosing to save your money, y'all, is, like I say, if you feel like you don't have enough money, y'all, saved up, well, go get you another job, y'all, because it's not about working there forever, It's about getting to the racks and saving it, y'all. So when you run up enough, you won't have to do that shit for a while. Or if you, like I say, invest that money into something, y'all, you can eventually get back revenue, y'all. The goal is to necessarily... My bad, family. I just didn't want to block y'all vision, But the goal is necessarily, y'all, to focus on what can generate revenue for you. That's all your goal should be, y'all. You shouldn't be worried about how much money you can get at the job, because no matter what, y'all, you're still limited to the money you can make. You can only make so much money at your job, family. And that's what I want y'all to realize. That the job and the money you're getting from there is looked at like the money that can help you in something long-term run that you're trying to perceive to get, So that's why I say, use that money to invest into something. Whether you want to invest into yourself, whether you want to invest into companies, whether you want to invest, like I say, into trading. It's all goes same thing, because it's all going to take time to run up, like I say, the money back. But like I say, y'all, if you use consistency to your advantage, well, you will see a big result and a big gain. But you must really be, like I say, on it. You must really be serious about it. And you must really, in a way, study the game. Study the shit that's in front of you. Because if you are not getting more than what you are putting in, well then, like I say, it was not meant for you to do, You always want to put, more in to get more back. If you put less, then you will get not so big of a return, family. So that's why I give y'all this video, man. It wasn't much for the chosen ones, but money is a tool in this world to get around it, And I want y'all to take that in deeply, y'all, because remember this: money does not make you, but it can break most individuals, y'all, because they think life is all about fucking money, y'all. Money is not what defines you, or is what gives you greatness. No, the value in yourself does. That's why I say it starts with being somebody, because the more value you start becoming, the more the dollar chases that, because money in this world is getting less and less valuable, because you know why? Because it's being printed every day, y'all. That's why this world is creating Bitcoin and shit like that, or just online, like I say, terms of currency, to where you won't need to rely on that paper no more, y'all, because people are waking up out here. So they're realizing that the money is only going to be here for so long, y'all. That's why I advise y'all to, in a way, stack up that money. And even if you're working jobs right now, just stack all of it up, y'all, and keep it in your account. If you want to invest on sites and shit like Acorn, crypto, Cash App stocks, that's fine. But if you're not getting or seeking, you're not like I say, getting any recognition, y'all, or progress shown to you, well, you might just want to take that money out and just keep it to yourself, because it's not guaranteed that you will gain more money if you put in more, because you're putting your, like I say, your money into the companies, the stocks, or just bargains, because that's all you think you know. And I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all, it's better to take the risk than to not take the risk, y'all, because at least you see what happened, y'all. At least according to your conclusions, y'all, it didn't work out, or maybe it did work out, but only you will know, And if you feel like this video has somewhat made you feel like, okay, you can feel it in a way, y'all, well, like I said, like the video and give it a comment. It wasn't the most, and I didn't give y'all so much about financial literacy, y'all, but I'm reminding y'all that even if you have money saved up right now, you're still winning, because you still have somewhat of discipline built up in you. Don't compare yourself to no artists or none of these fucking, comedians. Don't compare yourself to nobody, y'all, because you don't want to be like nobody. Your brain can go against you in those kind of battles, because you're looking at somebody who already has it, because maybe what they did to gain, value in this world, or maybe they took the easy way out, y'all, and they straight up, gave their soul away, which is the most valuable asset, because once you give that away, y'all, well, you don't have a will of your own anymore. You can't, put in unlimited amounts of effort into yourself anymore, y'all, because you don't own 100% of your profit no more, because, like I say, nobody wants to put that grind in nowadays. They just want to go to work and give it to them the easiest way out, And for somebody who's coming up, like I said, myself grinding, y'all, I have money saved up. I have enough money for me to save, because I realized that while I'm starting to grow, y'all, like a plant, that money's going to help me and aid me. And like I say, my business that I start to run down the road, y'all, I told y'all, family, when we get to 100K or maybe even more, I will drop my clothing brand, I will push that more so out, because right now all I'm focusing on is slowly, working my way up, y'all. I can't get there in a hurry, y'all, and I'm not trying to get there in a hurry. I'm just trying to be patient, put the work in, stay disciplined, and let God know that I'm trying, showing him that I'm disciplined enough to make a video for, like I say, the YouTube creators and the YouTube, like I say, entertainers, y'all, because there's a difference on YouTube. There's people who are creating content, and there's people who are watching it, which are being entertained by it, which are the ones that help you gain value, revenue, and attraction, So I want to remind y'all, man, if you're more so thinking about how to save money, you should more so focus on how to let the money follow you, y'all. Because remember, y'all, the money follows what is value. Look at people who do stocks. The bigger or the more the stocks are and they rise, the more money that is generated. That shit goes in hand with everything, y'all. So don't feel down now, y'all. Don't stay down just because you have a little bit of bread, just because life ain't going the way you want it to go. You're not supposed to have it all mapped out now, but your end result goal should be for figuring out what your purpose is. And I'm gonna remind y'all that in every video I drop, because people are choosing what to do, but long-term jeopardy wise, they might not want to do that forever, y'all. You must stick with something that you truly want to do forever, y'all. Find a niche, talk about it, and give it to the fellow, like I say, entertainers out here, y'all. There's nothing wrong with being an entertainer, because I'm pretty sure we all are being entertained by somebody else that we highly adore on these, channels or this app we call YouTube, But this was the video, though, family. I was more so giving y'all the knowledge of just keeping your money to you. Don't leave it in the bank, y'all, because the bank, y'all, is taking everybody's money and using that to, like I say, invest. You want to know the deep truth about, keeping your money inside the bank, y'all? Well, they're taking everybody's money and putting that shit into investing, yo. That's why, say you have a lot of, currency. Well, they might not allow you to take all of it out at once, yo, because they might not even have that money, I've seen individuals, y'all, who are trying to make money. Or let's not even say make money, but gain money, because they have money saved up. Well, they're not necessarily able to take all of it out, so they have to go to other banks and shit like that, because it's not really what they say it is, yo. It's more so, yes, your money's seen there that you have the money, but you don't have it all in your account, because they're taking everybody's money and using that shit to invest, because it's always about getting more money off of your money. And I hope you looked at this video differently after I just broke down the truth about currency in this world, y'all. The world wants you to believe that you have this money, but I've been in cases to where I couldn't take out all my money before, y'all, because it was not all the way there. Yes, it was there because I could see it, but I couldn't grab a hold of it, y'all, because I've learned that all my money is being generated into, like I say, helping the economy with investing. Banks ain't just gonna leave all that fucking money you have in there to sit. No, they're gonna invest your money if you ain't. So that's why I remind you that put your money to great use, y'all. Find a source of income that's gonna help you generate more of that money. Don't just think that, if I'm leaving it in the bank, yo, I'm gonna get more. No, it's just gonna stay there and stuck. And all that money might not even be in your account at the time, because they might just be investing your funds. So even though I'm not on a spiritual aspect of this life shit that I push out to all the ones that fuck with these videos, I just want to remind y'all that take that time to invest your money, y'all. Even if you are losing money at first, y'all, the more you keep that in there, the more you put in, I promise you will see results, y'all. It's just not going to take a day or a week or maybe even 2 weeks, y'all. It's going to take a solid foundation. It's going to take for you to start, for you to gain that end result that you are looking for, So I hope y'all, learn something from this video, y'all. I'm not going to be dropping longer content forms for y'all right now, y'all, because I want y'all to be able to enjoy the content while I have it here, It's not going to be long base formed content anymore, because I want to drop more videos, y'all, for y'all. I'm not just going to be doing car vlogs anymore, y'all, but I'm going to do whatever I can, because, this channel is about different niches of life, y'all. First of all, this channel is about exploring life when you start to fully begin to live, y'all. When you begin to live and thrive off of, what God has put you down here to fully thrive with, y'all, energy. But you must save that energy, y'all. You must protect it. And you must remind yourself that the only person that could break me is myself, y'all. So don't feel stuck and don't stay stuck, y'all. If you have the option, whether you want to be a content creator, y'all, because you've been, like I say, watching everybody else come up, I suggest you get on the wave, y'all. There's no other, time to start YouTube than now, y'all. And I'm going to make a video for that, y'all. So I suggest y'all, if y'all want to become YouTubers upcoming, y'all, get on the wave, y'all, because why think about it instead of, you can easily take action on it and see progression within a year. It takes one whole year to slowly start upcoming, y'all. But you must be consistent. You must want to do this shit. I can't force nobody to take action, y'all. I could just remind y'all with these videos that I push out that if you're not going to be consistent, well, it's going to remind me why I should be, because that's who I am, y'all. I have unlimited amounts of energy running through me, so I'm going to push something out for y'all, for whoever's watching, y'all, to the women and to the males, y'all. But I'm going to salute y'all and I'm going to advise y'all to keep going, because no matter how hard it gets, y'all, nothing is more harder than, like I say, getting on the camera and showing up, y'all. It's like people showing up to work. You're going to show up to work for that paycheck, right? But I'm pretty sure you want your legacy to be remembered. I'm pretty sure you want to live a good life in your 30s or 40s. I'm pretty sure that you don't want to struggle your whole life. It's not about the attention seeking, y'all. It's more so about presenting wisdom, presenting, like I say, truth, and presenting a different, like I say, if you want to say, vision of the way life is, because not everybody sees life the same. But with your intellect and with your, like I say, vision, people are going to get that and take that in if they can perceive it in a way, because not everybody looks at life differently. We all enjoy life, but in a different manner, family. So this was the video though, and I advise y'all to, like I say, watch to the beginning and watch to the end, y'all, because you will learn that money is not everything. Money's a tool, y'all. Money is here to remind you that in a world like this, y'all, you must figure out how to generate more of that by your money. Think about this, family. You go to work and you work your ass off for that paper, right? So when you get the paper, y'all, after that, you should work on a way to make your paper work harder for you, because you're busting your ass, blood, sweat, and tears for that paper, right? It's only profitable and more reasonable for you to find out how to get that money to work hard for me, because the money's just gonna stay stuck in one cycle, y'all. If you are just gonna let it pile up and just act like as if it's not working for you, y'all, because the money's then it's not working for you, y'all. So that's why I remind you that it's important for you to stay disciplined with your money, to save it, one, and to invest with it, y'all, because companies and everything around you are gonna start eventually profiting, y'all, because it's a new year we're walking into. So if you want to buy Bitcoin or you want to buy a piece of stocks, y'all, you shouldn't be seeking quick term, investments, because you should be looking at life long term wise, y'all. As long as you are choosing the right positions on the board, you're gonna be okay. I just remind y'all that you already got one part of the phase down, which is phase one, going to work or doing something that's gonna generate income. That's phase one. Phase two is figuring out how that currency, how that, money, or just how this, energy in front of me can generate more. That's why I say, y'all, get into financing, get into real estate, get into, something that's going to help you. Something that I would advise y'all to do, y'all, is if you have money, is if you have a good, like I say, amount of currency, go buy some property. Go buy some land, y'all, or go make some property, y'all, so people can live off of that, and a percentage of that goes to you, because you're the shareholder, y'all. But I would drop more financial literacy for those who need that. And like I say, future videos, y'all. But this was the video, y'all. How and why it's important to save your money while you're young, y'all. Because I don't want y'all to struggle. I don't want y'all to be on the streets forever, y'all. I want y'all to live and dream, palaces or paradigms. I want y'all to drive fast cars, or just build, like I say, cars that you want to be able to build up yourself, But other than that, this was the channel, man. And this was the video. I'll see you on the next one, family. Salute.